everybody, and welcome back. As always, glad to have you with us and being a part of the program. It's Wednesday, the 12th day of March, and winter's back with a bit of a bite to it, just as we expected. 24 hours ago, we were winding down from the 70s. Now we're hoping to wind down from some winds. A little wintry precipitation already this afternoon could be followed by some more. That wind advisory still in effect till 10 o'clock this evening. Nighttime lows will be far surpassed by wind chill factors that should be in the single digits or right around zero. Your weather forecast does improve after tonight, slowly tomorrow, but after that we get back into the 50s. We'll stay there for a few days thereafter. Could this be the last run of winter? Wouldn't bet on it. Tonight's headlines include yet another, the second this week, a McGoffin County High School senior signing her letter of intent to play her respective sport for a very well-respected college. I'll take you to the high school for that. Also, a Johnson County man sentenced for armed drug trafficking yesterday in federal court. Another serious drug-related story. It comes out of Johnson County as well in regards to a large amount of marijuana plants, an investigation by the Kentucky State Police. And I'll show you as it unfolded via security surveillance tape video of a burglary that happened in Sagersville, broad daylight yesterday. Some very strange circumstances surrounding the entire situation. We'll talk with the homeowner, show you that video, and then talk about what they took, and then even about a subsequent arrest that has quickly followed. And I've got much more to cover besides that, so stay with us. And that's just on tonight's program. We'll get to all that, calendar announcements and much more, and a little else this evening, but that does include a state, senate, and local government committee unanimously approving a bill today that would let voters in Kentucky decide on a proposed change to the Kentucky General Assembly's annual legislative session calendars. It's Senate Bill 195, and it's sponsored by Senate President Robert Stivers of Manchester, who's proposing the amendment to the state constitution that would reduce the number of working days during regular legislative sessions. Under this proposal, regular legislative sessions during even-numbered years would be reduced from 60 to 45 working days, and final adjournment would be required, as it is currently, by the 15th of April. The bill also proposes cutting odd-number-year regular sessions from 30 working days to 5 working days. An additional 10 legislative days could be used to extend an odd-numbered year regular session or a special session called by legislative leaders any time during that biennium. According to Stivers, the bill's sponsor, the governor's authority to call on a special session without time limits, that is, would not be affected by any of this proposed legislation. The bill, he says, will save up to $7 million a year and is an attempt to make legislative offices more accessible to Kentuckians, he says, who are unable to get involved in the process due to work, family, or other time constraints. He says it's an attempt, he believes, to return us back to what the framers of our Constitution believed our role should be, and that is of a citizen legislature. So Senate Bill 195 now goes to the full Senate for further consideration and action. If the measure becomes law, the question will be posed to us voters for final ratification in the 2014 general election this November. Well, I got it in for the calendar. I don't have it on the calendar yet, so we'll make an announcement right now. It is for the McGoffin County High School graduating class of 1984. They've got a reunion planning meeting set for this Sunday, 4 o'clock at the McGoffin County High School Vocational Building, the old band room for some of you folks, and that would include myself as well. The committee urges all classmates to bring any pictures from the last 30 years that they want to include in a DVD that's going to be shown the night of the reunion. You can also upload your pictures to the MCHS Class of 1984 Facebook page. The reunion has been set for July the 19th. They're going to have a picnic event during the day and a dance at the Ramada Inn in Paintsville later that evening, and I will file that over on the calendar for the rest of this week. From Johnson County, a Johnson County man who had hopes of becoming the sheriff of Johnson County, who previously admitted to trafficking in prescription drugs, considered to be one of the largest traffickers of that kind in Johnson County by local authorities, was formally sentenced yesterday to more than 7 years in prison.
These are photos from items that were seized from the residence of John Klein of Johnson County, done so by the Johnson County Sheriff's Department and Sheriff Dwayne Price. The Johnson Countian, who previously admitted to trafficking prescription drugs, was sentenced yesterday to 84 months in prison by U.S. District Judge Amul Tapar. 43-year-old John Klein was sentenced for armed drug trafficking And under federal law, he will have to serve at least 85% of that sentence. He admitted during his guilty plea in December of last year that he'd sold oxycodone pills to several undercover officers with the Kentucky State Police. Klein was also in possession of a loaded semi-automatic pistol at the time of drug transactions. According to the plea agreement, authorities then searched Klein's residence, found hundreds of oxycodone pills, 17 firearms, most of which you see here displayed by the Sheriff's Department. Kerry B. Harvey IV, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Kentucky, and other jointly announced the sentence today. The investigation conducted by the ATF, State Police, and the Johnson County Sheriff's Department. Klein had actually, as you may recall my reporting, entered the Sheriff's Department just a few months prior to his arrest, informing Sheriff Dwayne Price in a friendly manner that he was going to seek election against Price in the upcoming May primary. And upon raiding his home, Klein already had, as you can see, election paraphernalia already ordered and printed and made up, and his campaign had already begun with a letter of intent to file for the office that, well, he obviously now will never hold. In a report following his arrest, Price told me here in the newsroom that Klein was considered to be one of the largest drug dealers in Johnson County at that time, and that his arrest made a significant impact in the drug trade of Johnson County. Kentucky State Police at a Post 9 say that they arrested this man, 48-year-old Larry D. Conley of Van Leer, after more than a sizable amount of marijuana processed and not was discovered in a rather elaborate indoor marijuana growing operation last week. From what we understand, the DESI unit and detectives with the Kentucky State Police all went to his residence, and more than $300,000 worth of the illegal weed in some form or another was confiscated. He's since been charged with 2 counts, one of cultivation of marijuana, more than 5 plants obviously, and trafficking in marijuana as well. A search warrant was served at his residence after an investigation had begun sometime prior. They found this very well-established indoor grow operation and more than 150 marijuana plants inside. Once again, street value to the tune of $300,000. Marijuana was found in different areas in his home, in a building outside, in different areas, some processed, some in bags, and, as you heard, 155 plants that were growing. Detectives also stressed that the incident remains under investigation.
Conley was taken to the Big Sandy Regional Detention Center and has since posted bond. I'll be right back.
Always the best selection of hand-picked, quality, pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all with the service, prices, and financing aimed at making sure you drive off with the deal and vehicle you've been looking for. Premier Motors in Paintsville, 297-4121.
Hi, I'm Rodney Minix, born and raised in McGoffin County. I wish to see my family and theirs one day grow old in a place I so love. But to live here and be safe, we need to put honor, experience, and confidence in the Sheriff's Department. A graduate of the Department of Criminal Justice Academy, I have 7 years of dedicated service to McGoffin and Johnson counties. And with your support, I would like to take that leadership straight to those responsible for selling drugs and stealing from our home. Please vote Rodney Minix, Republican candidate for Sheriff of McGoffin County. Thank you.
Game time means wing time at Lee's, and that means it's time for you to try our new buffalo wings. I can't tell you our secret, but I can tell you they're marinated and then rolled in our famous, albeit a little spicy, crispy chicken batter and served up with any of our 7 delectable sauces. So get your hands on a meal or a box today at your Sayersville Lee's famous recipe, where no one does chicken like we do chicken. The New Year's sales event rolls on at Conley's with 3.99% and up to $1,000 in rebates on new Polarises. Kawasaki's got 3.95% or save up to $1,500 in cash. And just in, Polaris Power digital inverter generators, ultra quiet and ultra affordable at Conley's, Kawasaki, and Polaris of Paintsville. Faster, friendlier, family-owned Parkway Pharmacy, open 8:30 till 6:30 Monday through Friday in the new McGoffin Medical Plaza under the care of local pharmacist Jesse Rudd. To make Parkway Pharmacy your pharmacy, come by or give us a call at 349-4400.
I've still got a few details to gather, but we will have some video and a subsequent interview about a home that was burglarized in Sayersville yesterday, all caught on tape. Technically, it's not tape anymore, but you get the drift. And we'll have that report coming in just a few moments. Also, a subsequent arrest that's happened less than 24 hours later or so. But for now, it is my privilege and opportunity to take you to the Montgomery County High School, where yet another Montgomery County High School senior has officially inked her letter of intent. She did so today before friends, family, her teammates, coaches, and others. It goes back to the 7th grade when Darcy Arnott was into dance, as a lot of ladies of her age were and are. But she had to go to softball tryouts with her sister, with no intention of really trying out or ever playing the sport. Well, somebody coaxed her into it that day, and from that moment on, she was hooked. And now she has a college scholarship to the University of Cumberland as a result of that and all her efforts on the field and off since.
First of all, I want to say thank you for having me, being so hospitable to us. Darcy came down and had a great visit. I think she hit it off pretty well real quickly with our team. And we saw a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and we're tickled to death to have her. We really are. She has a really great personality. So she came in, she wasn't shy, fit right in. The girls absolutely took to her. We had to practice indoor that day, so had some ground balls and things, hit in the gym. But when she went down to the batting cage, it was amazing. She's got natural strength, just knocked the cover off of it. And that's when we really, really thought we need to pursue her. But I think she's going to do really, really well.
It's been great. It's been quite a ride. She's a good kid. Her mother and I are proud of her. Keep up the good work, sis.
The biggest thing was she liked Cumberland right away, and when we see that in a recruit, of course that's going to get our attention, and we're just going to go after them that much harder, because you need to know what you're getting into and what you like in a university. And I think we had that for her, so I think she's going to do really well for us.
I really love the Christian atmosphere and the campus. It's so beautiful and everybody's so nice, and I felt at home when I went there.
What are you looking forward to most about playing college ball and getting out of here?
Just getting to play more. Like, I was so upset that, this was my last year I'd ever get to play softball, but now it's not, and I'm just happy to play. When we won my freshman year, I was the tie and run, so that was pretty exciting. And then when we won All-A last year, that was just, it felt good to know that we did it. Like, I was playing, and I just felt like it was ours. And then when we won against Johnson Central, we mercied Central. How better does that get? And I hit a couple home runs, and that was a big accomplishment, and I'm just excited.
She's a dandy. She's a senior on the team, senior leader. I think she has, counting the All-A, 3 regional championships under her belt. So, she's had a great career, and she's done a great job, and she's dedicated to the sport. She loves to play, and she works hard and does whatever's asked of her. She can hit it. I think she had 5 or 6 home runs last year. Matter of fact, we had a scrimmage game last night. She hit one out in our first scrimmage game of the year. So hits the ball well.
It's just been amazing. Like, I love all my teammates. We're all just like a big family, and we help each other and better each other. And it's amazing. It's the greatest thing. And that's the one thing I'm really going to miss about high school is my team. Like, I've worried about it because I love my team. I always have. So I'm excited, but it's sad. Bittersweet.
And she's a leader, so I think there's a lot of upswing to what she has to offer the University of Cumberland.
And she still has her senior year ahead. They're just a few games in, as you heard Coach McCoy say. And she's headed into that senior season with several outstanding examples of talent, and it could be one of their best years yet.
Well, we return a lot of the ladies from last year's regional championship team, so expectations are high with us within the team itself, and I know within the softball community, these girls got a standard to live up to, and it's going to be tough. Our district is loaded. Johnson Central, Lawrence County, us in there. It's just a tough district, let alone the region and getting out of it and going to state. But that's our ultimate goal. We want to fare well in the districts. We want to win the region, and we want to get back to Owensboro.
So certainly from her family who joined her today, her teammates, her coaches, her friends, and all of us here at the newsroom, a sincere congratulations to another fine young example of talent and intelligence, and that is Darcy Arnott. And also congratulations to the University of Cumberlands for picking such a fine young athlete and student. More headlines to come. Right now, it's announcements brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau and your local Farm Bureau agent, Doug Green, at 349-2416. And our calendar starts off with a birthday or two. It says, will you wish Melinda Gamble a happy birthday, March the 12th, from her cousin Sherry? Just did. Happy birthday, Melinda Gamble, from your cousin Sherry. And this one says a happy 15th birthday to Ronnie Hammond. Love Mom, brothers, and sisters. And Ronnie Hammond's birthday was thought of by a whole lot of other folks. Another announcement from a whole lot of folks at the McGoffin County High School wish to chime in and wish Ronnie a happy 15th as well. This just in, a week from today, that is next Wednesday the 19th, the Water into Wine Food Pantry at the Lakefront Church of God at the Old Middle Fork Elementary School is distributing food boxes. It's 8:30 till 3. They'll break in the middle an hour for lunch and to kind of regroup, 11:30 to 12:30. But 8:30 to 3, food boxes at Water into Wine. That's next Wednesday. The quarterly meeting of the McGoffin County Local Board for Kentucky ASAP and Drug-Free Communities is coming up Monday at 6, and the local Safe Coalition is meeting Wednesday at noon. Both meetings open to the public, both meetings at your McGoffin County Health Department. And that's it for tonight's calendar. A rather quick one. Gives me a second to remind you. Any way you want to do it, mail it, phone it, fax it, email, Facebook it, or drop it off at the newsroom. We'll get your announcement on for free. Funeral service announcements this Wednesday provided on behalf of our friends at McGoffin County Funeral Home and McGoffinCountyFuneralHome.com. And a reminder of services to be held tomorrow for Estel Hale, 46 of Gunlock, who passed away on Sunday, the son of the late Dan and Nancy Wireman Hale. He's survived by his wife Barbara Hale and a daughter, Heather Nicole, and sons Estel Douglas, Cameron Taylor, Cody Ryan, and Anthony Chase. Visitation continues this evening. Services begin in the morning at 11. Services will be at the Trace Fork Holiness Church. Burial to follow at the Wireman Cemetery at Waldo. And now a complete listing for services to be held in honor of 49-year-old Billy Rand Jordan of the left-hand fork of Sugar Camp here in Sayersville. He passed away on Tuesday of this week at his home. The son of the late Billy Rand Sr. and Judith Jordan. He is survived by his wife, Mary Kay Fletcher Jordan, son Shannon Jordan, daughter Tiffany Jordan, and a host of friends and family. Services for Billy Jordan are to be held this Friday at 11 o'clock from the Full Gospel Mission Church on Jim Arnott Branch in Sayersville. The family will welcome friends to church Thursday, that's tomorrow, after 5 and any time prior to services. Contributions can be made to the Billy Jordan Jr. Memorial Fund at the Sayersville Funeral Home, who's in charge of arrangements.
At the end of every race, Mark Martin hangs up his driving gloves. He hangs up his fire suit. And he hangs up his helmet. Which is why he picks up his phone and opens the ER Extra app. The app shows ER Extra wait times, locations, and more. It's the one safeguard Mark Martin is never without. ER Extra at Paul B. Hall Regional Medical Center. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
From time and money saving services like their overdraft protection, telephone and online banking services, to finding the right home, college, or car loan, to personalized checking and savings accounts designed around your exact needs, Sayersville National Bank is still your best choice and the same locally owned and operated bank that's been looking out for your family's financial health since 1902. Sayersville National, restoring the piggy bank population one savings at a time.
Have you ever noticed how many insurance commercials and advertisements are on television nowadays? You can't watch your favorite program without seeing a little pig or green lizard trying to sell you insurance and get your money for their premiums. But let me ask you this. If you have been in a serious wreck, do you really think that you are in good hands of the insurance companies when you have lost wages, medical bills, and pain and suffering from your head to your toes? The answer is no. If you want to truly be in good hands, give me a call. I'm attorney Donald Wayne McFarland. Let me put my 20 years of experience in working to protect the rights of injured people to work for you. 349-9000.
If you're thinking it feels like spring is never going to get here, then stop in the seasonal shop in Sagersville where it's already sprung. They've got all the colors, styles, and all the collections of the season just bursting from home decor and dishware and table settings and so much more. Plus monogrammed and the most colorful of ways to say welcome. All this and so much more at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop, just down from the drugstore and the Radio Shack.
Remember when they invented the peanut butter cup? Bringing peanut butter and chocolate together. Pure genius. Well, the Sonom Enduro has done the same thing for wireless. Right now at Appalachian Wireless, you'll find the tough, dependable Sonom Enduro. This flip phone is great for the job or weekend warrior, but you can also access the internet and take great pictures with a 2-megapixel camera. Get it now, the best of both worlds, just like the peanut butter cup. Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
FYI, the boys from Johnson Central did it again. Doing it again is an even bigger story because they've done it 3 times in a row. They are 15th Region champions for the 3rd year in a row. They did so last night with a win over Shelby Valley, and it was a pretty big win, 81-56 in the championship game. That means Central is on to Rupp Arena. We'll be following them this week, and as they start to get headed that direction, we'll be keeping you up to date on their progress very, very soon. But for now, I have 2 more stories to cover. Your weather forecast is one of them. Not so excited about that for the near term. We are going to get out of this, though, pretty well unscathed by comparison. But nevertheless, it was a burglary that was discovered by a homeowner yesterday afternoon in a couple of different ways. This is just kind of not necessarily bizarre, but a lot of strange circumstances about this entire situation. You have a homeowner who was at a local business who was approached by an individual who had never been in his home, not realizing that that individual was kind of casing him out at that point to see if he was going home or not. And after they parted ways, that suspect, as it would turn out, then went to that home, bust through the door, and then proceeded to rob the place. Then a family member nearly catches him in the act, and then it's all recorded on security footage, video, that the suspect had to literally walk by as far as cameras were concerned. They were right there in plain sight, daylight, and even looks right into them on a couple of occasions. A whole lot of things just weren't very smart about the entire event.
And if there's anything that's fortunate for victims, it's that more often than not, thieves just aren't that bright or they're too high on drugs to really know what they're doing, meaning that maybe sometimes they'll at least get caught for their terrible acts. Case in point. Charlie and Marissa tell us about the events yesterday afternoon.
He just seen me at Speedway and asked me to sell him a dryer, and I told him I was going out of town to look at a car. And he must have knew that I was going to be gone for a while, and come and caught me gone and just put my door in.
When I came home, the door, there was like pieces of wood that had fell off the door. And I let my dogs out, and I had locked the door, and I opened it, and the door was locked. It was still open, so I knew that the door had been like, broke in or something.
Yeah. Did you realize what was taken on when you got inside?
No, I didn't realize that until I called him and we watched the video.
Wow. How long you had the security system?
About 3 months. It paid off yesterday.
It paid off big time, didn't it? So when he walks in, it looks as though he's knowing exactly where this jug was and went straight for it. How do you think he knew that?
My opinion, his brother has been in my home before. He might have told him I had a big bucket of change. The boy's a little strung out. That might have been in a quick, what I mean, quick buzz.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't put that together myself.
But it also looks as though he was going to go through the rest of the house if she had to come home, doesn't it?
My sister.
Your sister pulled in?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And he laid the jug right here beside the fence, and then that's when the car pulled in and he took off behind my house. Wow. He was laying the jug here like he's going to go back in and get something else. I got guitars, flat screen TVs, and he grabs a jug of change. My opinion, he's going to get more.
He was careful enough to cover his hands and fingerprints with his sleeve, entering and exiting. Just not quick enough to look at the security cameras inside and out taking his picture, nearly getting caught by Charlie's sister as she pulled in. You could see him scamper off. It is believed that, well, it is known that someone obviously dropped him off at the residence. Local authorities are investigating as to whether or not it's the same relative that Charlie believes was in his home and described the whereabouts of the change jug and other items. One arrest has already taken place. Charlie contends, as do police, that this suspect was Willie Reisner, the same man who was arrested by Sagersville police just a few short moments ago. If you're catching the early show, we'll have more on this story on tomorrow's program. And in a successful effort, I'll have to say, to get all of this news on, which has kind of happened in a very fast pace today, I'm cutting your forecast just a bit short, and it's not sweet, so you're not going to miss anything. The important thing you need to know is that we have some precipitation, some rain and or snow showers before 4 a.m. and some, maybe a few flurries thereafter. Not a whole lot more than flurries at any time, but those winds kicking about, well, they could make it serious at times as far as visibility is concerned, and they're going to make it colder. We're going to see 17 degrees tonight. We saw 64 degrees here at the newsroom for a daytime high, and we're going to drop nearly 50 by the end of the evening. Where else but Kentucky, I ask you? Probably somewhere else, but nowhere we're going to live, obviously. That's just a major change. We also have wind chills that are going to put us down to the single digits, maybe even closer to zero tonight. And some light precipitation, no accumulation expected, but some light precipitation, and that situation with the cold air and the winds, well, could mean a few slick spots. I don't really see classes being out tomorrow. It could happen, but we do see the potential for some slick spots in the morning and during the overnight, and that's the real concern at this point. It's just another shot of winter. And guess what? There could be another one just around the corner. We'll see 36 and a few flurries ending by 7 o'clock in the morning. Mostly sunny. We'll see the 50s return. Next week, could be another shot of some snow in the forecast. Winter's not over yet. Will it ever be? I'm not going to go that far. But the show is for now. Thank you so much for being a part of it. We'll see you back here tomorrow night for more exclusive news on Your News Today.